So exactly, my first day was pretty well the first day I saw you in the auditorium, and so it's lovely to continue to see you so that you know who I am, and more importantly that hopefully you'll come and visit me and let me know how things are going. It's very, very important, not that it hasn't been in the past, but it's absolutely so important to be building student community. And I can see the energy and the enthusiasm about that, so we need to be hearing about that, and please email me, come see me, and we can talk about how do we make a really positive and wonderful student community and build off of your energy, and we can learn from you. So I am thrilled that you're all here. I'm also here because, I don't think I told you, I came from University Health Network, so it is very near and dear to my heart. I was the former director of nursing education there. You would have seen me as if you were students there or if you when you start to work. So I am thrilled to be welcoming my colleagues, just my colleagues from University Health Network, as well as Jody Smith from RNAO. Jody can speak first. Olga Muir, who is one of our nurse managers at UHN, but is also a leader in the RNAO. So thank you, Olga, for being here. And then the wonderful folks that we were joined at the hip with, Belta McManus from nursing, and Andrew Short and then the calculator for human resources. So they're here to tell you all about nursing, all about our professional responsibilities, and join. If you're not a member of RNAO, join. Yes. 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 And we're going to become really active at RNAO, and then also learn all about the wonderful place called the University Health Network and how you can get there. So thank you so much, and enjoy, folks.
Welcome. Are you all first year?
No.
Who's in first year? Okay. And who's in second year?
Final.
And who is already a member of RNAO? Excellent. And who's not a member of RNAO yet? Okay, great. Olga's going to be handing out application forms. And I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes or so talking about how you can get involved with RNAO, some of the stuff that the Nursing Association does for you, and also trying to put RNAO in the context of the other nursing organizations in Ontario. But most importantly is to invite you to do so. I want all of you to feel welcome in your association and realize that it's worth you getting involved. So, welcome. Great. So our goals for our discussion today, look at the nursing organizations in Ontario, invite you to join, talk the most important point, and then review the membership benefits for nurses and nursing students, including
you want to keep the details out, right?
So that's something that you may have questions about how RNAO can help you in the future. As nursing students, the legal stuff is something that's protected by your school. But it's important that as you go out into the world of nursing that you know how involved your nursing association can help you. Okay?
Just give it to the owner.
So, this is a quiz portion. Who wants to name a nursing organization in Ontario? You get a license plate covered. Anybody? Oh!
The ONA.
Excellent, ONA. And do you want to jump in and say what ONA does?
I believe that they provide the insurance for us.
Yeah. Okay. So that's, yeah, the ONA, the Ontario Nurses Association, thank you for answering, is a trade union representing nurses and other health professionals, and it's an organization that we will should start within. We'll have to and so they're a union. So that's an organization. My logo's here. They're a union, and they are an important part of the Voices for Nursing in Ontario. They're one of the important, and that's their logo up here. Okay, anybody else want to jump in with it? Oh,
The CNO, so the College of Nurses of Ontario, and they're the regulatory body. And so in order to be an RN, you have to be registered with the college.
that's excellent. Did everybody hear that? Yeah. They're the regulatory body of the College of Nurses of Ontario. You need to be registered with the CNO. Fantastic. Okay, so we're down to two more associations. The RNAO? Great. Excellent, the RPNAO. And what do they do?
Not exactly sure, but I've heard about them through some of the other organizations.
Excellent. Do you want to talk about the
Yes,
RPNAO?
I think like the RNAO, just they represent their registered practitioners.
they do the same thing as the RNAO, but for registered practical nurses. So, fantastic, that's great.
So not put the government in there as well, though, because of them helping with the RHPA,
Yeah,
the latest settlement, not settlement, but the stipulations of what we are allowed to do and not to do for all the different associations.
yeah, the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care and the Ontario government have a really, really big impact on nursing because of their regulatory oversight through the Regulated Health Professions Act, as she talked about, so, excellent. That's the legislation that governs nurses and other regulated health professionals and requires some of the vaccines, sort of makes RNAO a self-regulated profession. So, yes, they are also, we'll talk about that as we get into the presentation, but they're a big employer of nurses and a big decision maker about healthcare spending. So that's something that the RNAO has a lot of discussions with politicians. And I hope that now that you guys are getting involved, that you'll participate in our day at Queen's Park, where we go and talk to MPPs or have meetings with your local MPPs and actually push the government to make public policy decisions. So, yeah, I've never had 4 spot-on answers before, so you guys Okay, so the next part of our talk today is that we're going to talk about the benefits of getting involved. So we have the answers up there, but does anybody want to jump out and talk about, some of you who are already members, how you benefit from RNAO membership?
Courses, course funding.
Course funding, excellent. And do you want to talk a bit more about that?
Well, you can apply for funding from the RNAO to reimburse yourselves, Sometimes your organizations that you work for don't put a lot of money into education anymore. They've had to structure that back. So at least the RNAO will support continuing education.
Great. Support for continuing education for RNs. Thank you. That's a great one.
Networking, meeting wonderful professionals like you guys and important people that can help you build your career.
Wonderful. That's great. And everybody heard the networking answer? And thank you. Kind of connecting with other people in the nursing community, being a really important, and that's so crucial. Any other answers? Okay, did you have your hand up? Oh, you did.
I have a question actually regarding the funding. Do you have to be an RN in being RN nurses?
You do have to be an RN for the program that, what's your name? The program that your colleague was talking about, that is a program that's for registered nurses. So it's something that once you graduate, you can apply to have up to $1,500 reimbursed for continuing education, certification, ongoing education like doing your master's, courses that you need to work in your specialty, those kinds of courses. As a nursing student, some of the funding opportunities that I would direct you towards would be bursaries scholarships through our interest groups. So if you have a particular interest in diabetes nursing, the diabetes nursing interest group of RNAO has a scholarship. Or if you have an interest in maternal child nursing, there's a scholarship available. And those are actually mostly done through Registered Nurses Foundation of Ontario. So everybody have their pens and pencils. www.rnfoo.org. There's their foundation for nursing. www.rn, so Registered Nurses Foundation of Ontario, OO.org. Sorry, motor mouth. I'm going to keep on schedule. Some of the other educational opportunities are that we have discounts for nursing student members of RNAO to attend all of our events. There's free e-learning opportunities on our website. And we do educational loans. Once you've been a member for more than a year, you can borrow up to $2,000 for school. That is something that has to be repaid back, but it's a no interest loan, so it's a key that nurses have put money into that you can borrow if you need in a pinch. So does that kind of cover your question? Thanks. Anybody else want to talk about some of the benefits of membership? Some ways that you've benefited as a member of RNAO? I really like when we cover it off with yours, talking about your experience rather than.
The updates they send you the journals. They see what's going on in the nursing world and even get the
Excellent.
concerns or
So updates like the Registered Nurse Journal. If you aren't already a member, if you can take a copy of this and pass it, because you would have received this in the mail already if you're a member of RNAO. So you said updates in the mail, and you also,
I was just saying, like, what's going on in the nursing world, any concerns or, things that should be addressed, talk about it.
so what's going on in the nursing world, let's talk about in the journal. Is there another way that you get updates from RNAO?
Emails.
Emails. Great. And how do you guys like getting regular email updates about what's going on in your high school? Excellent. You have any answers?
Yes, I was just wondering, for the interest groups, are the fees that are stated here, are they annual, one-time fees?
They're annual. So we're passing our OLDA, our VANA, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Has passed around our listing of interest groups. And so there's a number of these individual kind of specific groups for different areas of nursing that work under RNAO's umbrella, and we support them with administrative support at home office. But you can get involved with them to really connect with a very specific sphere of nursing. So they do collect fees. Some of them are free for students because they want as many students as possible to get involved. Some have a nominal fee. And they put that money towards doing things like sending out newsletters, putting out events, having a website, all those kind of things. And they're all run by volunteers. And I would say almost all of them have a spot for a student representative on their executive. I can't think of one that doesn't. So maybe some of you might want to think about, your leadership opportunities within groups like this. So, we talked about interest groups. Anybody else want to jump in before I start moving? About all the different reasons you should get involved? Thank you very much for those of you who chimed in. I know it's can be intimidating sometimes. Good. So this is some of the benefits of getting involved with the RNAO. The support for nurses in the community in different sectors, both in acute care and wherever it is that you're practicing. Financial supports, recognition and awards. We have a Student of the Year award that we give out every year that I'm privileged to work on, so that's something that recognition for people who are leading the next generation of nurses. Because you work very hard at school, and the association celebrates that. Representation for RNs, speaking up for health and for nursing, involvement internationally. Clinical resources and professional development. Does anybody want to jump in with how RNAO kind of stands out in terms of
Best practice, standard.
best practices guidelines? Yes, thank you. Has anybody made use of our nursing best practice guidelines, either the healthy work guidelines or the, I see you nodding, yeah?
Yeah, we use them in like all of our assignments.
Okay, you'll get it. So those of you who are members yet, all of our members do get a CD about all of the nursing best practice guidelines with your student welcome kit, and that's something that has them all available, and they're also all available for free download on our website. And these are documents that, as most of you know, it sounds like, bring together nursing research and evaluate it and kind of come up with a series of recommendations for nursing best practices. And that's an ongoing project that's been going for about 12 years now. That is China and Spain, Italy, and we're very proud of it. And we're also always looking for people to sit, and we have student representatives on those development guidelines as well. So another leadership opportunity for you to think about. I happen to know that our UHN colleagues who are coming up next are going to be talking about the importance of networking and setting yourself out there as you go into the nursing world. And I'd like to suggest that getting involved with your association, first by joining, second by reading what you get out, your magazines and your emails, and then third by taking on leadership roles like sitting on a board committee, getting involved with your local chapter here, Toronto West, getting involved with an interest group or some other way that you can get involved with the association. That's the lifeblood of the nursing profession, and it's also something that can really help you to find your way in a new career and set yourself apart. So, I could go into, one last thing. I'm gonna just talk a little bit about political action, I think, and then I'll hand it over to the other gentleman.
Jody, can I just mention to the students, when you guys graduate,